Hello there.
So on my last video, there was like a crazy huge outpouring of support, and I can't thank you guys enough for all the views and the likes and the comments and everything like that. I'm really trying to get my channel going again, and every little bit helps, especially as it gets harder and harder to get monetized these days. Doing the things you love to do on YouTube, whether it's talking about, you know, the Monsterverse or Marvel or DC or playing a video game or doing whatever, it's just harder and harder to make money on this platform. So I really appreciate all the support, guys. And it looks like we have some new details for Godzilla x Kong, kind of surrounding the villain Scar King and a little bit about the other villain. Now, the second villain I very much feel like is Legendary's version of Space Godzilla. I feel like maybe Legendary had issues getting the rights from Toho on Space Godzilla or something like that, so they ended up having to do this because this creature very much resembles Space Godzilla. But enough of my ranting. Let's get into the video and let me know what you guys think about these new leaks.
Atomic Fair.
Okay, so I'm just going to read this from the top, and most of this comes from Reddit and other sources that seem pretty verified, and leaks from test screens and stuff like that. I did sort of credit War Stew in my last video, but that's not originally where the leak came from. The original leak actually came from Reddit after the test screenings happened. So the sources seem pretty reliable, so let's go ahead and get into these details. Now it says Kong leads a lonely life as the king of the Hollow Earth until he encounters an ancient tribe of red apes led by the Scar King, the red monkey from the trailer. Now, like I said, some of this is stuff we already know about, and some of this is just more expansion on details that we already knew about from before. It says, in prehistoric times, the Scar King attempted to conquer the world, but he and his followers were defeated by Godzilla and imprisoned in the Hollow Earth. The Scar King commands the first Titan, a crystalline reptilian with a powerful freezing breath who once unleashed the Ice Age. Sounds a lot like Space Godzilla, like I said, but let's continue reading here. The Scar King sends a beacon to revive the first Titan, which also awakens Godzilla from hibernation. So I guess Godzilla is once again in some form of hibernation. He seems to be in a slumber quite a bit. Which also awakens Godzilla from hibernation and causes Jaya, the sole survivor of the Iwi tribe from Skull Island, to begin having apocalyptic visions. Jaya and her adoptive mother, Dr. Eileen Andrews, played by Rebecca Hall, so this is a woman from Godzilla vs. Kong, set out to investigate the beacon. Aided by Eileen's ex-boyfriend, a flamboyant monarch medic specialized in treating injured titans played by Dan Stevens. So these are all returning characters from the Monsterverse franchise, except for Dan Stevens, who is a new character, sort of filling the place of Alexander Skarsgård, apparently. Now it says, meanwhile, Kong bonds with the young red ape Suko and learns that the red apes once protected the world before the Scar King was corrupted by power and usurped his brothers to become a tyrant. Now this is very much Planet of the Apes vibes here with the tribe of, you know, Titan-sized chimpanzees or red apes or whatever. I'm excited to see how it unfolds on screen, and it kind of makes sense that they're leaning into Kong a little bit, considering they own all the rights to that character. It is an American-made property versus, of course, Godzilla, who they have to sort of grapple with Toho on getting the rights to certain characters. I have a funny feeling that's why we're not seeing Space Godzilla and are instead seeing this character called Shimu, who very much resembles Space Godzilla and is the first Titan to ever exist, and like I said, resembles Space Godzilla not only in design, but with the freezing breath and yeah, the ice on his back and everything like that. It says Godzilla and Kong ultimately join forces to prevent the Scar King and the first Titan from freezing the world, and even get cybernetic enhancements from Monarch to fight their new enemies. The Scar King has his own weapon to counter Kong's atomic axe, a bone spine with one of the first Titan's crystals at the tip, which he wields like a whip and carries over his shoulder like a bandolier. New Titans include a spider-like Titan that Godzilla fights early in the film, so this is apparently not a returning Titan that we saw before in, I think it was Godzilla King of the Monsters, I believe. And there's also a pack of jackal-like Titans that Kong fights early in the film. So those are all of the plot details explained in further analysis here. Like I said, I'm really excited to see how this all unfolds on the screen. I don't really think the leaks ruin anything for me. I'm just such a huge Godzilla nerd that if anything, it makes me more excited. I am a little disappointed that they're not using any of the classic Toho monsters that we know from the Godzilla franchise, but like I said, it really just makes sense that Legendary doesn't want to grapple with Toho to get the rights, or maybe they just don't want to pay up the money that it's going to cost to get the rights for these characters. I guess it was a little different with Ghidorah and Rodan and Mothra. But from what I understand with the rights situation, they have to get each kaiju's individual rights. So it's not like if they get the rights to Godzilla, they have the rights to Godzilla and all of the existing villains and allies and things like that. I think that they have to fork over more money or come to some sort of an agreement with Toho, which it really seems like they don't want to do. If I seem unenthusiastic, I'm sorry guys, it's not that. I'm just recording this video at about 4 in the morning. I'm working an overnight shift at work and I have a lot of downtime, so I wanted to take this time to record this video. But comment down below what you guys think about all these new leaks and all these new plot details regarding Godzilla x Kong. I'm really excited for the movie and I'm excited to see how everything unfolds. I'm most excited to see these cybernetic enhancements that Godzilla and Kong are going to get. I feel like they're very much going to resemble the mechanized Godzilla and Kong figures that we saw, and I'm wondering if maybe these were plans that were supposed to unfold in Godzilla vs. Kong, but they saved them for the next movie. I don't know. A lot of it's speculation other than the plot details that we know for sure, but like I said, comment down below what you guys think of these leaks, and until the next video, be safe and stay well. Bye-bye.